Hi, I'm Lila Burke. I'm here with Jaden Bryan. Would you like to tell a little bit about yourself, Jaden?
Yeah, so I graduated last year and currently I go to UMass Amherst where I'm studying finance.
We're just here to talk a little bit about ableism and how it affects Jaden personally. So my first question for you, Jaden, is what is your disability?
So my disability is I actually have misophonia. It's a hypersensitivity to sound and noise, mostly human-made noises, such as like coughing, chewing, breathing, sniffling, all that sort of stuff. And it causes me a physiological and emotional response to those sounds and noises. I actually have hearing aids for them, but so I have, it comes in a spectrum, but I guess I have somewhere in the middle where I have to have these. So yeah.
All right. So how has this affected you, whether it's in school, with relationships, or just life in general?
Yeah, so I would say that in life it definitely has caused me to need more alone time with myself to self-regulate my emotions, my body and everything. And it has affected a lot of relationships, I would say, in my life. Some people I can't eat with or be around. I also have certain people that I can't spend any time with, or some people that I can only spend limited time with and then immediately need a break afterwards. So it definitely does affect the relationships and school. Sometimes being in certain classrooms would be hard, or I would have to pick where I sit meticulously and plan that out, knowing who I'm around, stuff like that.
What is one positive that's come out of living with this disability?
I think this question is very tough because I feel like with a disability, it's hard to look at the positives, and I feel like there aren't many. I think it can be hard at times, and definitely in the beginning of my disability, I didn't think there would ever be any positives, but I would say it's definitely caused me to have to advocate for myself, whether it be in school or relationships or anything like that. I definitely have to advocate for myself, and also it has really made me take a lot of steps to care for myself. So necessarily not even within the disability, but also outside of it, because I've realized it's easy to take steps to take care of yourself, whether it be disability, whether it be anything in life. So I think that are the two main things, because it's hard to think of good things. That when you think of disability, it's hard to think of good things, but I think once you get to a certain point, it's easy to look back and be like, oh, I have learned to really speak for myself and advocate for that. And I think I've also been able to, through that, advocate for other people well, and definitely take steps to care for myself. And in the beginning, I saw them as sacrifices and be like, oh, I have to give this up in order to do this. But now I see it as like, oh, I'm doing this to take care of myself.
Given your experience living with this disability, what's one piece of advice you'd give to people who can't really relate?
Yeah, so I think, especially since I have a disability that you can't necessarily see unless you get super close and you see my hearing aids, and then some people will assume oh, I just really can't hear when I can actually hear you way too well. So I think don't jump to the conclusion of assuming what somebody's going through necessarily, and I think just try and take active steps to understanding what somebody's going through, and just be proactive and accommodating as much as you can, and don't necessarily get frustrated with them if they have to do certain things to self-regulate or advocate for themselves.
Thank you so much for being here with us,
Yeah, no
Jaden.
problem.
We really appreciate it. And I was just wondering if you had a couple words to close us off with.
Yeah, I would say if I was in the beginning of my disability, I would definitely want somebody to tell me whether you have a disability that you can see or not, or if you're just going through anything. It may seem hard, but even now, I've had this disability for over 10 years, and when they asked me the question of what positive things can you think of, I was like, oof, I don't know if I know that. But then if you think about it, there are silver linings and there are things that you'll realize you got better at. And even if you have a disability or not, taking care of yourself is one of the best things you can realize in your life. So if you're struggling through something, prioritize yourself, learn how to take care of yourself through that one thing that you're struggling with, and you'll be able to take care of yourself with everything. And really, self-love is the best thing you'll ever discover.